tells you it's a rifle. The Bren is a light machine gun. It puts down a heavier round, more sustained fire. I have never seen a Gurkha who did not love this weapon.
Gurkhas, the Himalayan soldiers hired from Nepal, who've loyally fought for England from 19th century India to modern-day Iraq, versus the French Foreign Legion, international mercenaries who gained notoriety in 1863 at the Battle of Cameron. Only 5 surviving members of a Legion unit were surrounded by 5,000 Mexican troops. Instead of surrendering, they charged, forever establishing their fight-to-the-death reputation.
The Battle of Cameron symbolizes what the Legion is all about, fighting to the last man if need be, and never even having a thought of surrender.
We've seen the ravaging force of the Legion's World War II firearm, the Browning automatic rifle. But the Gurkhas delivered death in the jungles of World War II's Pacific Theater with their own light machine gun, the Bren. Designed in Czechoslovakia and used in combat for half a century.
It can fire at 30 rounds in one magazine. You have a handle, so it can fire from the standing position.
It was heavy to carry. Why could they do it? Because they came from Nepal. They spent all those years climbing up and down, building those leg muscles.
You've forgotten, he's got more red blood cells, so he can carry like a heavier gun, extra barrels, extra banana magazines, the whole thing,
Buddy,
because of the...
Stick to history. You don't understand medicine.
To test the Bren's accuracy, firepower, and maneuverability in a simulated assault on entrenched enemy positions, Rye will move from cover to cover, firing at 3 Tannerite-built targets. He'll try to beat Nick's time, 58 seconds.
On 3, 2, 1, Gorkhali! Misfire.
Clearing the jam costs Rye precious seconds.
Yeah, that's it! Moving fast, he's moving fast.
Yeah, he's much faster.
Now we're talking.
Nice magazine change.
Yeah,
He's on the move.
Move, move, move.
Good job.
Great job, Rye!
Despite the costly jab, Rye's Bren matches the BAR's 3 instant kills.
Yet another fantastic head explosion, okay? But we wanted to see if that weapon could take down this degradable cover. It did exactly that. If there's a man in here, you've now killed him, right?
You've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that in the hands of a very capable operator, the Bren can have effective fire and accurate fire all on the targets.
Although it is the old machine gun that used in World War II, still I used this while I was in the Gurkhas. And still, if I have to choose, I'll choose this Bren machine gun.
What we had is Rye running significantly faster than Nick was able to do.
You know, John, the Gurkhas are physically the smaller, lighter warrior, but they do have that advantage with regards to their leg muscles and with regards to their ability to actually train in higher altitudes. That has to factor in as an X factor of physicality, which we will plug into the sim.
Rye did a phenomenal job. But when I look at the Bren itself, I can see there are inherent operational functionality issues that could cause that weapon system to go offline.
With the test times of both weapons so close, what aspects of each light machine gun's functionality will earn it the edge?
Let's have a look at Rye and the Bren gun now. Okay, the first thing I know is take a look at the sight. The sight itself is wobbling back and forth. The magazine is wobbling.
But when I look at the BAR, this doesn't look like it's going to actually weigh down on him, causing any significant endurance issues.
The thing I'm not a big fan of, when I start to look at the Bren and I get behind it, okay? Now I've got to actually change my cheek well to find this sight. When you're starting to look at the BAR, there's nothing like being able to put this light machine gun on your shoulder. I can volley with this thing very clearly. I can step into this thing and keep control with it. And that's what we do with M60s.
For long-range weapons, edge, French Foreign Legion. The battle continues. The Gurkhas and the Legion's medium-range weapon, the bolt-action rifle. The FFL's assault units will open fire with their compact French firearm, the MAS 36. The last bolt-action rifle put into service by a major world power.
It's got a 5-round magazine, and the round they used was the 7.5454, which is this one here. Very fast, very accurate.
It's a shorter gun, and that short barrel helps you get in and out of cover, move swiftly. This was very helpful fighting off the enemy infantry.
The Gurkhas shoot back with the fastest military bolt-action rifle of its day. The Enfield No. 4, England's mass-produced rifle developed to fight the Nazis.
It has the 10-round magazine, and it has a long barrel which gives the accuracy on a target.
Each expert will fire his rifle through a chronometer into a block of ballistics gel, revealing his weapon's muzzle velocity and damage capability against simulated human tissue.
Send 1 round through the volume of the crony into the gel block.
Got it.
2,647 feet per second. That is a fast round.
How will the Enfield No. 4 compare?
Yeah! Woo! 2,417 feet per second. Nice. And look at that temporary cavity. Love it.
The temporary cavity is the expansion, which is temporary. It's just like pushing tissue, and then the tissue comes back. In that process, things can tear, bad things can happen.
The MASH 36's faster round blasts a bigger temporary cavity, revealing it transferred more energy to the target.
This means the weapon with the largest stopping power is the MASH 36.
Another win for the French Foreign Legion.
You know, Jeff, it's not a matter of one shot. It's a matter of the performance on the battlefield.
All right, we'll see.
Coming up, with the Legion's light machine gun taking the edge, and the Gurkha's bolt-action rifle even the score. 2 mercenary battalions who turn the tide of World War II. Gurkhas, French Foreign Legion, who will be the deadliest warrior.
Hey guys, we are back live. I tell you what, those light machine gun tests are absolutely amazing. Love to see that. Okay, let's kick off our first live vote of the night. Based on what you've seen so far, who do you think is winning? Go to dwlive.spike.com and vote right now. The results are just coming in, and looking at that, it does look like French Foreign Legion are slightly ahead. It's very, very neck and neck. 50-50 actually, to be quite honest. But FFL slightly further ahead. Jeff, would you say that the audience are on the mark there? Is it that well split?
You know, it's funny because I love this matchup, and the kookery and the whole legend behind the Gurkhas, I love them. But you take natural-born killers with instinctive discipline against natural-born killers without that instinctive discipline. I'm going to side with the guy that has the instinctive discipline, and that's the Gurkhas in my mind.
Absolutely. Let's have one last look at the votes on your screen. Fans are still it's still neck and neck. Stay tuned. We will check back and see if your votes change based on what happens next. Enjoy.
The French Foreign Legion, the hired guns whose brutal desert training prepared them to serve France in desert campaigns, from World War II Libya to Gulf War Iraq. Versus the Gurkhas, England's Asian warriors, whose brutal night-fighting skills played a crucial role at the Battle of Kohima Impal in the Burma campaign of World War II.
They broke the will of the Japanese Imperial Army at that battle. The Gurkhas did extremely well.
Testing the ballistics of their World War II rifles, Jeff found that the Legion's MASH 36 inflicted more damage than the Gurkhas' Enfield No. 4. But which medium-range firearm is deadlier in the heat of battle?
So here's the scenario. You're on patrol and you make contact with the enemy.
To assess each rifle's accuracy, battlefield maneuverability, and reload time, the experts will fire 10 rounds at 3 moving targets 50 yards out, the average range of World War II firefights. The experts will low crawl to a second concealed position, firing 10 more rounds at 2 static targets 35 yards downrange.
So Rye, you'll be up first with the Enfield No. 4.
Let's do it.
On 3, 2, 1, contact front!
Take your time, brother. Nice shot. Excellent. Nice.
That looks like a miss.
There you go. Oh. Yeah. Just hit. Excellent.
Okay, he's reloading.
Reloads. The Enfield is designed to handle 2 5-round stripper clips.
Nice and smooth. It's tough in that mesh, too. Got to keep the barrel up.
You have to crawl through vegetation all the time. You still got to find a way to get through it. Got there pretty quickly.
Here we go, second firing position.
Nice shot.
There we go.
Nice.
Missed it.
Nice. Nice shot. Excellent.
Yeah.
Headshot.
Yeah.
Excellent. Done.
2 minutes and 7 seconds to get through that course. Nice work, Rye.
Rye and his Enfield number 4 scored instant kills on all 5 targets.
Take a look at this. I mean, this is like a tracheostomy. This would actually spurt out his last breath with a fine mist of blood. This guy's having a bad day.
We've got an 80% hit ratio on the static target and a 50% hit ratio for the moving target. All in a total time of 2 minutes and 7 seconds.
Gentlemen, when you look at Rye, you're actually looking at 200 years of military tradition. His father fought in Burma. He has wanted to be a soldier since he was 5 years old. They want to obey. They want to be disciplined.
One of the most important distinctions you have to be a great warrior is discipline, and discipline is one of the X factors we plug into our sim.
Nick is up next with a MASS 36.
On 3, 2, 1, contact front!
Nice.
Not a whole lot of blood there. That's a hit.
Yeah, it's dead center.
Nice. There we go.
Dude, he's nailing it.
Yeah.
Nick reloads the MASS 36's 5-round magazine, 1 bullet at a time.
It's costing some time.
Yeah, looks like a miss. There you go.
That is a hit.
Oh, dead center. Nice. Oh, nice. Nice.
Reloading again. Smooth reload.
Nice, good low crawl. The bigger guy, though. He's a bigger guy.
Nice low for a big guy, yeah.
Dude, he is 6'9", right?
He missed it. Missed that too. Missed it. Nice, that was it.
That's clean.
There you go.
Bring it home, bring it home.
I'm telling you though, the reload is killing him. Missed it.
There you go. Nice shot. Excellent.
And again.
Nice.
Again.
Done. Excellent.
Done! Nice work!
Nick matches Rye's 5 instant kills. The MASS 36's slower reload costs him significant time compared to the Gurkha's Enfield number 4.
One of the fastest reflexes you have is the corneal reflex, which makes you instantly blink. But this poor fella didn't even have a chance to blink. Insta-kill.
We're seeing a hit ratio of 80% on the moving targets with, respectively, a 60% hit ratio on the static targets.
You did a great job with your moving targets, but things looked a little bit different when you got to your static targets.
When I was in the Legion, we learned real targets are moving targets. And the possible second answer on this, and we'll never know, is that I threw 2 shots into every one of those holes. You guys just can't see it.
Let's think about reality. If you're in a war, doesn't matter how many rounds you put in, you got to be fast, you got to be quick.
In the real war, I kill more people than you do.
We'll see, there's some more coming up.
Legion's MASS 36 has the advantage in damage and accuracy. The Gurkhas lead in maneuverability and reload time with their Enfield number 4. Which rifle's finer points give it the edge?
On Rye's side, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. With Nick, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. That, to me, is a significant increase in time.
Yeah, you know, for me, I felt like Nick was more accurate on the dynamic shooting environment. We saw it in the trauma, we saw it in the accuracy. I give a slight edge to the MASS 36.
But I want to show you something that stands out for me right off the bat with the MASS 36. When you're looking at holding a sight picture, okay, if I have to change because I've got this hitting me in the face, now I have to change my sight picture, clear my head, and bring this weapon back up. But when we come to the Enfield number 4, I come back, you can actually see I don't have to change my sight picture, which inherently will make you faster operating with this weapon. Plus, having a 10-round magazine to start, I give a slight edge to the Enfield number 4.
In a close contest, the edge for medium-range weapons goes to the Gurkhas. The all-new digital combat engine incorporates the key X factor of battlefield tactics. Mac will analyze each warrior's most effective World War II battle plans.
Both the Gurkhas and the French Foreign Legion use small unit tactics to develop their incredible reputations as legendary warriors. How would you describe the Gurkhas' approach to warfare?
Their whole vision is improvisation on the ground, acting quickly.
Could you give me an example of that?
1944, Burma, 30 Gurkhas taking on 80 Japanese infantry and virtually wiping them out.
All right, let's go there right now using the touch table. Here we go. Set up the battlefield for me.
We have a Japanese column moving along a jungle trail. They are identified by a scout.
Very simply, you got a Japanese patrol moving down through the trails, right? A Gurkha scouting party heads back up and he notifies his lieutenant where the patrol is going.
Gurkha lieutenant knows that he is outnumbered 3 to 1. His job is to destroy this column without gunfire.
You've got your Gurkha lieutenant, he takes the vast majority of his troops and he heads here and he's setting up something right here. But he actually sneaks a group of guys over here to set up the Japanese.
He has to remain totally silent, hidden in the undergrowth. The Gurkhas jump up from the undergrowth with their kukris, clashing, taking 1, 2, and 3 men at the same time. It's a real horror show, and the Japanese infantryman does not know what is happening. They never even got a shot off.
The Japanese line now is actually moving back into itself, causing it to bunch up right here. It's almost like being stuck in a choke point. They can't flank this position because of the terrain, so they go back down the path they just came, right into a linear ambush that's already been set up. Every single Japanese that enters into this kill zone winds up being massacred.
Effectively, this Gurkha unit of 30 men wiped out 80 Japanese infantry by thinking outside the box in an improvised ambush.
Coming up, with the Legion having the edge in machine guns and the Gurkhas taking the rifle test.
So he can carry like a heavier gun, extra barrels, extra banana magazines, the whole thing, because of the...
Stick to history.
You don't understand medicine.
To test the Bren's accuracy, firepower, and maneuverability in a simulated assault on entrenched enemy positions. Rye will move from cover to cover, firing at 3 Tannerite-filled targets. Try to beat Nick's time, 58 seconds.
3, 2, 1, I'll get it!
Tells you it's a rifle. The Bren is a light machine gun. It puts down a heavier round, more sustained fire. I have never seen a Gurkha who did not love this weapon.
Gurkhas, the Himalayan soldiers hired from Nepal, who have loyally fought for England from 19th century India to modern-day Iraq, versus the French Foreign Legion, international mercenaries who gained notoriety in 1863 at the Battle of Cameron. Only 5 surviving members of a Legion unit were surrounded by 5,000 Mexican troops. Instead of surrendering, they charged, forever establishing their fight-to-the-death reputation.
The Battle of Cameron symbolizes what the Legion is all about, fighting to the last man if need be, and never even having a thought of surrender.
We've seen the ravaging force of the Legion's World War II firearm, the Browning automatic rifle. But the Gurkhas delivered death in the jungles of World War II's Pacific Theater with their own light machine gun, the Bren, designed in Czechoslovakia and used in combat for half a century.
It can fire at 30 rounds in one magazine. You have a handle, so it can fire from the standing position.
It was heavy to carry. Why could they do it? Because they came from Nepal. They spent all those years climbing up and down, building those leg muscles.
You'd forgotten, he's got more red blood cells.
Hey! Misfire!
Clearing the jam costs Rye precious seconds.
Moving fast, he's moving fast.
Yeah, he's much faster.